half an hour. Not very light to me, let's do that. Half an hour yoga and stretch. There we go. That's better. We're going to start on our feet today and work our way down to the floor. If you come up to a nice standing position, feet hip distance apart. And then just shuffle your feet, just find a really comfortable grounded spot. You want to feel your heels on the floor all the way around the outer edge of your feet, balls of your feet and your big toes. So just have a bit of a shuffle around until they're all grounded. Lovely. Bring your arms all the way up to the top. Take a big deep breath and bring them back down again, nice and slowly. And then same again. Big reach up, feel your shoulder blades come up and relax, breathing out, bring them back down and back again. Good, one more. This time when you get to the top, you're going to reach up with one hand, stretching up as high as you can, and then the other hand, keeping your arms up. Good, so slight twist as you reach up. Big stretch through one side. See a couple more. Lovely, and then bring those hands back down again. So we bring them down, we're going to come down into a chair pose and your arms come up. And bring the palms of your hands together. Good, and bring your elbows down to the side so your hands come in towards your chest. And we're going to have a twist straight away. So you bring your left elbow down towards your right knee. You can go the other side, that's okay. Super, and then just sit in that twist. So you're trying to push your hips down and backwards. You will feel it heavy in your legs. You should be feeling open up the sides. Super, big stretch here. Lovely, and then take your right foot back into a high lunge. Bring your body up to the front, arms up, all the way up to the top. Lovely, so your feet are both facing the same direction to begin with, but you're balanced on your back toe. Pressing down into the floor with that front foot. You should be feeling a stretch along the front of this back leg here. Lovely. A couple of big deep breaths here. Good. And then just twist that back foot around so it's level with the back of your mat. Good. And then arms come down to the side and lunge forward into your front leg. Good, really push through the soles of your feet, through the balls of your feet, around the outside edges. Make sure your feet are really grounded into the floor today. Lovely. And we're going to take a lean back. Bring your right hand down to your back, right leg. Left arm comes all the way up over the top, look up towards your fingertips. Open up that stretch along the front. Lovely. And bringing that front arm back to the centre again. Straighten your front leg. Lean forwards and come down towards your ankle. Try and keep that front leg as straight as you can. Looking up towards your fingertips. Good. Feel stretch in the front inside leg. Super. Back up to the middle. Lunging into that front leg again. Back arm comes down. Front arm comes up and over the top. Hold it there. And big breath in, back to the front again, straighten that front leg. Lean forward, straight back, and bring that hand back down towards your ankle, looking up towards your fingertips. Really stretching through the sides. Good, one more back up, bending into that front leg again, coming up to a standing position. And lean back, back hand comes down to your leg, front arm up over the top. Super, back to the middle, straighten that front leg, lean forwards, hand comes down to your ankle, looking up towards your fingertips. Super. Good, back to the middle, keep your arms nice and wide, twist your left foot round so it's the same angle, similar angle as your back foot. Hands to your hips and squat down. If you need to just shuffle your feet in a little bit, then please do. Lovely. And then we're twisting nice straight back, shoulder down. Try and squeeze the opposite knee as tightly as you can. Come back up and down to the other side. So back as straight as possible. You're pushing your hips behind you. Nice and slowly, big twist and then reach down. Good. One more on each side. And then come back up to the middle. Let your hands drop down to the middle, all the way down to the floor. You can straighten your legs a little tiny bit if you want to. Tuck your chin under and let your shoulders hang down. Super. Bring your hands up so they're at the coccyx. Clasp them together. And gently allow them to fold over the top towards the floor, stretching through your shoulders. Super. So tuck your chin in. And just let your arms sit there in that stretch. We're not trying to force it, we're just allowing the weight of our arms to pull through, stretching out the front of our shoulders. Good. Bring your arms back to your coccyx, allow them to fall down towards the floor. And we're going to lunge over to one side. Try and keep your feet flat on the floor if you can. If you can't, don't worry, come up onto your heel. Good. And then just sit through that stretch. If you want to, you can bring your outside arm onto the inside of your leg. Do what's comfortable for you. If your heels are down on the floor, you'll feel a stretch all the way up the back of your ankle. Super. Press through your hands to help lift your body back up towards the middle and come back down on the other side. Good. See if you can keep that foot down on the floor if you can. Lovely. One more on each side. Pressing through your hands, through that foot. Walk over to the other side and then lunge back down again. Good. And one more. Pressing through all the way up to the other side. Lovely. And just shuffle your hands around to the front of your mat as we twist around into a downward dog. Step back. And start to pedal through your feet. Squeezing your ribs in towards your thighs. Stretching out the backs of your legs. Feel free to just have a shuffle to make sure that you're in the right position. Good. Nice, big, deliberate pedals through, stretching through your calves. Feel your hamstrings stretch. If you're not feeling your hamstrings, just try and tilt your hips backwards a little bit, pushing up your sit bones and your tailbones up towards the ceiling. Good. Couple more on each side. And just bring your feet slightly to shoulder width apart. Bend your knees and you're going to walk your hands in towards your toes. When you get towards your toes, you might want to bend your knees a little bit more. We're going to take a deep breath in. Extend out our back and our shoulders, reaching the crown of our head towards the wall. Lift up until you touch your knees. Breathe out and fold back down. You can bend your knees as you fold down. So 2 more big deep breaths in. Make your back big and straight. Breathe out, fold back down to the floor. 1 more, breathe in, big long straight back. Breathe out, all the way down to the floor. Super. This time breathe in, come all the way up to standing, round your back, all the way up. Bring your hands up to the ceiling. Palms pressed together. I'm going to sit back down into our chair pose again. Palms coming down, elbows wide. Good, and then twist the opposite way this time to last time. Super. And pushing your hips back, twisting as you go. Good, couple of big deep breaths here. Lovely, and then start to unravel. As you unravel, take a big step forward, opposite leg this time, arms come up to the ceiling. So your left leg is back, right leg in front. Lovely, and just a couple of big deep breaths here this time as well. Feeling the stretch open up through the front of that leg. A big twist on that back foot, so you're opening your hips to the side. Arms come down. And then lean back, left hand down to the back of your left leg, right arm up over the top. Big stretch through the front. Lovely. And back up to the middle. Straighten that front leg. Reach forwards, straight back. Hand comes down to your ankle, looking up to your fingertips. Lovely, breathe here. Next time you breathe in, come back up to the top again. Bend through that front leg, weight comes forwards. Back hand comes down towards your knee, front arm up over the top, looking up towards your fingertips. Good. Bring the hand back down again. Leg comes straight at the front, lean forwards and down to your ankle. Super. Try and keep that front leg straight, looking up towards your fingers, keeping your shoulders open to the side. Lovely, one more, big breath in, bringing yourself up to the top. Lean forwards into that lunge, back hand to your knee, front arm up over the top. Find those fingers. Good, back to the middle. Straighten that front leg, lean forwards, front arm down, meet your ankle. Lovely, looking up towards those fingertips. Good, next breath in, come up to standing. Spin that right foot around, so it's towards the front, hands on your hips and down into that squat position again. Super, pushing your hips and your tailbone back to the wall behind you. Wide knees, and again, opposite shoulder across the other one. You might find you can go a little bit further, reach those knees with your shoulders a bit further this time. A nice, slow, deliberate shoulder twists down. Super. Good. If you want help with your breathing here, as you breathe out, bring that knee out, shoulder down to your knee. Breathe in as you come to standing. Lovely. Come back up to the middle. Lower your hands to drop down to the floor. Fold forwards, hips and tailbone up to the ceiling. Tuck your chin in. Bring those hands around the top up to your tailbone and your coccyx. And then again, allow your arms to drop over the top towards the floor, stretching through your shoulders. If you want to stretch your hamstrings a little bit more, you can press your knees back so your legs are a little bit straighter. If it's too much on your hamstrings, bend your knees a little bit. Good, 2 more breaths here. And then bring those arms back in towards your hips. Allow them to drop forwards down to the floor. And then bring your weights over, across to one side, pushing that heel down to the floor again. Super. And press back through your hands, through that foot over to the other side. One more on each side, pressing back through. Walk those hands over to your right foot and come down. Good, and one more over to the other side. Super, well done. And then bring your hands around the front, press into your downward dog, and big step back so your feet meet each other. Lovely. So we're just going to keep our legs still for a moment. We're going to press through our shoulders, so look towards your knees, and see if you can put your heels down on the floor, raising your tailbone, your sit bones up towards the ceiling, squashing the gap in between your ribs and your thighs. Just feel that stretch, resting deep into your hands. And you should feel it through your shoulders, up the backs of your legs. Really making your legs as long as possible, heels to the floor, tailbone to the ceiling. Good, just relax through that a little bit more, start to pedal your feet again. And then if you want to add in a hip wiggle, as you drop your knee, drop your hip to the same side, stretching through your back, opening up your back. Really nice. And then drop your knees down to the floor, into your tabletop position. You can curl your toes under if you want to. Chin under, press up into your Halloween cat. Feel the gap open between your shoulder blades. Push through the floor as hard as you can. Good. Chin under, bring your hips in towards your elbows. And then drop back through the other way. Roll your shoulders back down. Tailbone to the ceiling, chin up. Super. And then breathe out, press back into your Halloween cat position. Push the floor away as far as you can through your hands. And back through into your cow position. Make sure you roll those shoulder blades back, creating lots of space between your shoulders and your ears. Good. This time start to move side to side. Bring that shoulder down towards your hip. Looking over towards your toes. Super. And press back up into that Halloween cat position. And again, you can still do the twist if you want to. And just spend a minute going between the two. So rotating through your cat-cow with the twist. See what feels good and where. Everyone will feel slightly different on these. So what feels good for you might feel slightly different for somebody else. Good. And then return back up to a neutral position. Bring your big toes together. Nice wide knees. Press back. Sit bones down towards your heels and reach those arms forward. Lovely. Pressing your arms down into the floor, stretching through the insides of your shoulders, insides of your arms. Couple of big deep breaths here. And then press back through your hands. Shoulders come over the top of your wrists. Toes can come apart, hips down towards the floor. And then just consciously roll your shoulders back to create some more space between your shoulders and your ears. Super. A couple of big deep breaths here. Good. And then push back into that pose, child's pose again. Bringing those toes together, reaching down towards the floor. Good. Press back through your hands again, hips down, chin up, roll those shoulder blades back behind you. Lovely. And then if you want to add the twist, do so, looking over towards your toes. Nice and slowly back to the middle and over to the other side. Good. Press back into that tabletop position again. Curl your toes under. Back up into your downward dog. Pedal through here, pushing your heels down to the floor. You're probably in a slightly longer stance this time, so it'll feel like a bigger stretch through your calves. Good, and big step through, right foot in between your hands. Drop your left knee down to the floor and just prop yourself up on that front leg, leaning forward into your stretch. Super. If you're nice and balanced, lift your arms up. So your weight through into that stretch. If you don't want to make that stretch more intense, you can keep your hands down. Look up towards your fingertips if you want to and lean backwards. Push those hips forwards. Lovely. Good. Couple of big deep breaths here. Just let that stretch start to ease off. Bring your hands down. Left hand down to the floor. Right hand up into the air, twisting left shoulder to right knee, looking up towards your fingertips. Super. Your right hand down to the inside of your right foot. Roll your right foot out onto its outer edge, letting your knee come wide. You can either stay here with your arms straight, supporting the weight, or you can drop down onto your elbows if the stretch allows you to. Lovely. And when you're ready, push back up onto straight arms again. Right arm back over your knee. Curl that back toe under, press back into that downward dog position. And just pedal through with a hip wiggle. Just reset those hips. Good, and big step through this time with your left foot coming in between your hands. Right knee comes down to the floor and prop yourself up on that left leg. Lovely, lean forward into the stretch. Feel the stretch all the way along the front of your right leg. And when you're ready, if you want to, bring those hands up towards the ceiling. Good, and then for an extra stretch, look up towards those fingers, leaning back. Super, take your breath here, allow that stretch to start to ease. Good, bring those hands down towards your feet. Leave your right hand on the floor, left hand up to the ceiling, looking up towards your fingertips. Right elbow to left knee, sorry, right shoulder to left knee. Good, one more breath, and then bring that left hand down to the inside of your left foot. Roll over your left foot to the outside edge. Knee coming wide, lovely. And then if you want to here, drop down to your elbows again. Good, breathe into that stretch. Super. Press back into the straight arms, allow that foot to return to neutral. Hands framing your toes, curl your back toe under and press back again into that downward dog. Super, pedaling through. Good. Drop back down into our tabletop position. Cross your ankles behind you and come into a seated position. Side stretch here. So left hand onto the floor, right arm up over the top, stretching to the side. You can drop your left elbow to the floor if you've got stretch in you. Otherwise, you can stay up nice and high, easing off that stretch a bit. Good. Back up to the middle and the same down to the other side. Try and keep both of your sit bones on the floor. It's tempting to lift up one as you come over the top. Good, one more on each side. Back up to the middle, over to the right, last one on this side. Good, back to the middle. Lift our right leg up, so place your right foot over the top of your left knee. See if I bring your left arm across to your right knee. Big twist. Good, hook that elbow over the top. And then just try to straighten your back as high and as tall as you can. Imagine there's a rope from your hips, through your shoulders, along your spine, all the way to the crown of your head, and somebody's pulling that up nice and tall. Take a big deep breath in, and as you exhale, see if you can just twist a little bit further. Stay really tall still. And then each time you breathe out, just see if you can twist a tiny bit further, opening up your back. Good. Unhook that arm, come back to the middle. Bring your right foot back down into that position of crossed legs. Left foot up over the top of your right knee. And then right arm across over your left. Hook that in and twist round. You will find on these that you're likely to twist further on one side than the other. Super, looking over your left shoulder. Imagine somebody's pulling on that rope again, crown of your head all the way up to the top of the sky. And big deep breath in. Every time you breathe out, see if you can just twist a tiny bit further. Super, unhook that elbow, come back into your seated position again. Roll forwards back onto your hands and knees. Big toes touching, and just press back into a neutral position, back down. Forehead down to the floor, and bring your arms down by your sides, palms facing upwards. You can bring your knees together a little bit if you prefer. And then just rest here. Allow your shoulders to come down towards the floor so you feel like your back and your shoulders are rounding. Let your shoulders and your elbows feel really, really heavy here. Good, and just take a few big deep breaths to finish. Super, and when you're ready, just push yourself up to a seated position. And we are all finished. Well done, everybody.